You ever decided that you're going to set up a run for your club and you anticipate, 8 or 10 or 12 rigs show up and you get 40? Well, folks, that's what happened on a Sunday I guess it was winter. I was going to say spring, where Rattlesnake 4x4 decided to run a dunes run, primarily because, folks, we got some new members, which is really awesome. And we wanted to take out our new members, especially those that were new to their vehicles, take them out to the dunes and give them a little instruction on just wheeling and wheeling in the dunes. So we put out the call, let folks know that, hey, guess what? We're going to hit the dunes. We're going to go have some fun. And, well, about 40 rigs showed up, folks. It was awesome. Love it. Couple Marines here I had to meet real quick.
8 years? 4 years. 4 years. Oh, right on.
Neat guys. And you know what? They're going to play later in this video when we've got to rescue a vehicle and they happen to show up. So good on them. Appreciate their help. Got a Bronco there? Yes, folks, you're going to see that Bronco get recovered, folks. Nothing against the Bronco. You know what? The Bronco proved itself pretty well out there in the dunes, but boy, I'll tell you what, I think that IFS system caused it a little bit of trouble. Experienced driver, knowledgeable with the dunes, got into trouble. You're going to see that today at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Meanwhile, with 40 vehicles, oh my gosh, we really hadn't expected that. It was awesome, and I'd love to do it again. So if you're in the area, be sure to keep an eye on Rattlesnake 4x4. It's a great club, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a member there, folks. I joined there about 3.5 years ago because I wanted someone to go wheeling with up in the mountains, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I had a stock Jeep at the time, folks.
2.5-inch lift.
Wow, that's surprising that it works that well.
Well, we did a bunch of shoehorning.
Anyway, you get out to the dunes and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get there from the Corners gas station we were at. And of course, you know, if you've ever been out in the sand, you know the first thing you're going to do is air down. But with this group of folks, we had decided we would divide into two groups. One would be the more advanced group, the wheelers that don't need instruction, that just want to go out and play and have fun. And then we would have the second group, which would be a group that we were going to do some instruction to. It was the basic plan of coming out to the dunes. We'll go out and have fun, but also for those folks that are new to wheeling or new to their vehicle or just new to the sand, we would give them some instruction. And thankfully, Jose from Peak Putters came out and joined us for this run because he's very experienced, and he went ahead and volunteered, or maybe he was voluntold, I'm not sure, maybe Lance knows. But he volunteered to take the advanced group out, and that was awesome because that took that literally half of the rigs that were out there off our hands for, you know, the training session that we wanted to do. And we had some experienced wheelers stay with us, some of them to help give the training.
Oh, okay. All right.
So after a quick driver's brief, we went ahead, took off, and at that point, I'll be honest with you, we had a little confusion with 40 vehicles all trying to take off and get lined up. And again, this is the first time we've done a run where we had that much interest. And so I will tell you this, we learned a few things, and the next run we do, folks, will be better prepared for that. So be sure to come out on the next run because I think you're really going to enjoy it. But we got situated, even picked up some trash right here, and got rolling out. Everybody got in the right group. We got out to a spot that we could get everybody together and do a little training. Now, I will tell you, we kind of fed them with a fire hose. We're going to do that a little different in the future. So for those that are interested in doing some learning, keep an eye on Rattlesnake 4x4 because we'll be doing more of this, folks. If this was just the first time, let's see what we covered here. I'll give you some of it in brief.
That's a huge table.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a bunch of things. One of the things we wanted to do, because we have a bunch of new folks with us, is talk about recovery, talk about some of the things we bring with us so we can be prepared, because even being out here, you can get stuck and have trouble. First, we want to talk about why we air down. The whole point of airing down is so we increase contact patch
Part of the reason we air down is so that we're not, if we stayed aired up and we come whipping out here, that's why all those hoops are out there. Because the side-by-sides come out here and they've got whatever air pressure they're running, and they're just hitting it as hard as they can. Well, that's what causes those whoops. By airing down and driving slow, we don't do that.
So this is a kinetic rope. It's all right. It's the old Jeep. It's not the new Jeep. So this is what you guys think of. Most people think of these when they're doing a pull. It's the traditional flat tow strap. Great for towing, but really hard on your rig when you're stuck. You'll notice that
Best place for them.
Garbage bag. Okay.
Now
Now look,
they're still useful.
they're still useful, and you can still flat tow with them. You can still do things like that way. But this is a kinetic rope. Lance brought out. The big brand name is Max Tracks. They're great, but they're super expensive. Most people use them to level a rig when they're camping and they got a rooftop tent. But tracks like this is a DV8 brand. You're not going to spend but a third of what the Max Tracks are. As rare as you're going to use them, they're fine.
Also, Factor 55 has this basic guide to winching and recovery. It's a great little book if you're a beginner or just want to learn more about rigging. This actually comes with the kit that I've got here. I believe this is their medium recovery kit. Great little book, good reference guide, and to learn more about rigging, doing multipliers and all that.
Or uphill. So the thing about going uphill is you need to make sure they make it up the obstacle before you start, because if
if it's a steep obstacle, you want to make sure you leave enough space at the bottom that they can get back down if they have to.
Right. We'll come help you. We'll walk you through it. We're on Black Bear Pass in Colorado, one of the scariest trails people have been on. Lance's wife had some trouble. Robert came and spotted her down the whole trail. Right? So we're glad to stop and help and guide you through what we're doing. If at any moment you get scared or you have an issue, just stop. Let us know.
Yep.
We'll come help you. That's why we're here. That's the benefit of being part of a club or being with a club, is we support each other, we help each other, we do the things we can to help each other. Quality gear matters.
One of the reasons for joining a club is you're going to be wheeling with other people. And if you're going to go on a club event, people are going to have gear. So I don't want you to think that before you go on the next run, you got to go buy a bunch of gear. I don't want you to think that. This is stuff you really do want to have in your rig if you're going to go wheeling, especially if you're ever wheeling alone or with just one other person. But you come out with us, we're going to have experienced people that have gear with them as well. So I don't want you to think you got to go spend $500 today and go buy a bunch of gear. So just in case.
As you do your budget, you're looking at gear, budget the money for good gear.
All right, class done. Everybody's got their heads full of using kinetic ropes and running Jeeps and everything else, and we headed out into the sand, and we tried to keep this fairly easy. The intent was to do an easy run, nothing too crazy for the new drivers or those new to sand. I will admit we kind of got into some spots that were probably a little more than what I would call easy, but that's okay. Everybody did great. Everybody made it through, and that's part of the advantage of running with a club, folks, is that you're going to have somebody out there to help you out. So we did some pretty decent downhill grades, got into some pretty sharp ones, did some pretty cool uphill climbs. Then, well, the story's going to get interesting. So let's go ahead and just run through this section right here where we're going to go out and get some sand on our Jeeps. And then, folks, well, things are going to get exciting.
I went down this one.
It's one of the things that's going on. Let's see if I listen for another one. That's the bag.
Hey Mike, I don't remember the first time I took a ride in your Jeep out here doing 6 mile. Come again? First time I rode in your Jeep was with you out here doing 6 mile or 4 mile practice to go down this hill. Good practice going up it too. So I'm not trying to come up right in front of you. Okay.
To your orange Jeep now, he's not going to make it. If he's not careful backing down, there's a hole behind him.
Steve, left. Left, Danny.
What was Doug saying? He's
They've got a young kid on broken ankles up the head, and they're trying to assess what to do with him. He's out on the back, dude, and I just asked him what the fastest way to get there. Is he at the top of that ridge there? This is Doug. Jose with our other group was out there with a bike rider, with a motorcyclist. The top of the ridge to my right, top of the ridge to my left. Left.
Doug behind us or in front of us?
Copy that. I'm gonna head out that way. Head on the left or the right? Because I see there's a side-by-side to the right. That's me. Don't follow me. No, go up to the left, right up here yonder, and if you follow the pipeline road out, that'll get you out the back fastest.
Where'd they go?
I'm not sure.
Hey,
Oh,
Doug,
there's
you
some
think
down
you need
that
something
way.
with more
There.
room to maybe take somebody out to the staging
But
area?
I'm not sure. People are gonna get lost out here because
Stay left. Go left. There you go.
I don't like the way it's leaning to the
Oh,
right
on down.
though.
Good to go, Ryan. You ready?
All right. Well, I told my wife we'd be about 2 or 3 hours in. She told me later she knew better, but man, I was going to try to stick to it. Now, these dunes are huge, folks, and it can take you more than 4 hours just to run the perimeter. But I said, okay, we'll get up this hill that I probably hit a little too hard with a little too much throttle. And Lance was up top saying, hey, you know, if you back off a little bit, you'll get better traction. But I'll be honest, my thought was, yeah, I made it up. Anyway, the dunes aren't really my thing. So I won't tell you that I'm the best at running dunes and going up and down dune hills. It's just not my thing. I'd rather be out in the forest somewhere, seeing the scenery and getting to where there's some good campsites or places to go fishing. But anyway, that Bronco right there, the owner of that Bronco, Mike, great guy, very experienced wheeler, been around a long time, member of the Peak Putters. He actually said he was going to take off. So I said, oh, awesome. We'll follow you out. And he said, keep an eye out for my brother. And that's what happened, folks. Well, okay. Let me back up a little bit. I didn't have my camera running and because we were just heading out. We were just leaving. And we'd come up to this one spot. And he said, oh, I got to turn around. We'll go back on that pole line right there. And so he did a little bit of a button hook or a U-turn, you know, and headed up where I'm parked now and tried to make that right turn, but he didn't anticipate the depth of that soft sand right there. It was crazy. It was hard to walk in. And as he tried to make that turn, his Bronco started to kind of slide over and drift out a bit. And it was obvious he wasn't going to go up. So he stopped and tried to back down. And then the soft sand just sucked him right into that hill. And of course, you know, with the IFS, he just doesn't have the flex that, you know, live front axle systems have like the Jeeps do. And so it looks pretty dramatic right here, I think, because of that. But it was. That rig was teetering back and forth a little bit. When I latched onto it, if you go back and look, you'll notice that it settles back towards me. It was close, folks, real close. And if that driver's side front tire had gone or come off the bead, his rig might have gone all the way over. So thank God for bead locks, I think. We got his brother around, got him up on top, and got his winch on, and that actually settled things down a little bit, pulled him a little bit forward as we got tight, and he shifted back towards me because of my winch. So I think at that point we might have actually got him out without additional vehicles, but we had some other folks come up, the Marines I mentioned earlier, as well as a Razor. And so what you're going to see here is we're going to get that Razor into position to get a better angle on holding him down than where I was, and just to add that extra bit of security. And then we're going to use that one of those other Jeeps to anchor the Razor, and at that point we were able to go ahead and winch him out. So I'm going to let this run. You can see how we did it, and well, it was quite exciting, folks. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think at the end. Hang in there. I'll be back to you right near the end. You get on the other side. Do we want to put a blanket over these?
Yeah, probably that's a bad idea. Yeah. Let's tighten it up, like one side, another side, one side, and another side.
This one's not real heavy, but at least it's something. Might help. So the old rule, drape a blanket over it, it won't whip back if it breaks. Yeah, we're trying to recover the Bronco. We may, we'll know here probably in a couple of minutes, but if somebody can head this way, it might be a good idea. It's Mike, and we're on we're right on the pole line. I see an orange Jeep coming right at me right now. Yes, we're on the power line. Correct. Might have. That's not gonna fall to high side up.
On this side.
How many Marines does it take to?
There's two more right here.
I know, right? That's why I said it.
Yeah. I'm out of shape. Went up the hill, I'm out of breath.
Yeah, he came back down. He was down, and we were coming up this way, so we didn't know if he was going to come back up this hill. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Get a rope on me, quick!" My heart just dropped.
At least my brother saw kids. He's like, "That's your guy who let you have the flag. We should go over." Yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way for us to get out of here.
Well, we were following him.
That's what we were. He told us the way. I just don't think my board will make it up this. I think we'll make it. Air down more. We can go that way.
I don't even think I have much pressure on you with this pitch right now. Got a little bit, but not much.
We're gonna get our Jeep. We'll figure it out.
Almost need to have, honestly,
What's the name?
What's this song?
no. Oh yeah, let's get it. Right
I got some videos. Good videos. What would happen if you Imagine I just don't see myself.
Dude, I was teetering, bro.
Okay, who's got either the XA or the orange one?
What was that?
Could you guys pull in behind me over here? You got a winch with enough rope?
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you pull in behind me and then come on this side of me with your winch rope and latch on above mine, because when I hooked up, it was a whole mad panic, get it done.
Okay.
And I'm not hooked up very well.
Okay. Yeah, I can do
So
that.
I need to get another one.
Get around me, Damon.
Yeah, sure. Winch rope this side of me.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you can't get around, let me know. I'll move it. Okay. Look at you run, dude. Oh, look at him. He's like, I'm dropped. See, I'm back in the game. Wolverine!
That's good stuff right there.
Hey, that's not an Amazon one, right?
All right, we're getting there now. He's in it. He's trying to drive. We're pulling from the front. And as we pull from the front, you'll see the slack on my winch increase right there. That means it's settling back down again. We've still got the winch on the Razor, which is anchored by a Jeep that you can't see in the picture here. And he's almost all the way down on all fours. successful recovery. Definitely a little exciting. Got the heart pumping, you know, and I'll tell you, I was kind of sitting down below behind me there because I was waiting to see how he did going up the hill. That's what you do, right? You wait for the vehicle in front of you to complete all the way up the dune or the hill, and then once they make it to the top and it's clear they're good to go, then you can make your run. At the time, I was watching him, and when I saw him drift off a bit because of that deep sand, I said, yeah, I'll go up and turn left, go down the hill, and get a straight run at it to come up the top, right? That was my plan. Obviously, not going to happen, and I ended up backing out and coming on a different approach. I didn't even bother to go up that hill. I could have, probably should have aired down a little bit more to do it, but honestly, no need, didn't need to. But we got it out, and there's a little bit of winching left to go here. And one of the things that I think is kind of keen to pay attention to is that even now that he's down on all four, and that Bronco earlier proved that I mean, he could literally crawl up dunes really, really well. It was kind of impressive to see that. He wasn't going up this dune, folks. He was either going back down or he was getting winched up. And I think at this point, there was no wanting to try to go backwards. There was too much excitement earlier doing that. So you can see that even though he's got it locked in and he's got all four digging, that winch was the only thing that pulled him up the hill right there at that point. So pretty awesome recovery, pretty crazy end of the day. Great PSA, I suppose, in that if you're going to go out and wheel like this, you really need to wheel in groups. 2 may not be enough. 3 is definitely safer.
That was crazy. It's pretty tight, so we want to move that forward actually, because if that thing breaks, about 35 miles. There you go. This thing snapped. He's gonna get out of there now.
You guys really want to use your recovery tools, huh?
No.
It's kind of the old survivalist prepper saying, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Don't go out alone, folks. Join a club like Rattlesnake 4x4. Come on out with us. And I want to thank both the Desert Rats and the Peak Putters for coming out and helping as well. And I will tell you, folks, on that day, the club also assisted in a life flight of a young guy that broke some ankles or something like that, motorcycle riding. And then we also had one of the new club members' Jeeps get a little bit crossed up and need a couple winch ropes on it to get it out of position. So all in all, great day. All recoveries were done well. Really exciting day. Thanks for being here, folks. I really appreciate it. More to come. Stick around, and don't forget to check out my main channel, just the old Jarhead. Appreciate you being here, folks. Y'all have a great day.